Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Major Red Howe, today's Master of Ceremonies. On behalf of the presiding officer for today's event, Major General Kendall Penn, the Adjutant General, Arkansas National Guard, welcome to the retirement ceremony of Brigadier General Leon Dodroe. In recognition of General Dodroe and General Kendall Penn has deferred his honors for today's event. Please rise for the official party, the singing of the national anthem by Senior Master Sergeant David Smith, and the invocation by Chaplain Garrison. As a reminder, when the national anthem is sung, military personnel will stand at attention and face the flag. Civilian guests are asked to stand, face the flag, and place their right hand over their heart if able to do so.
Colors. Present. Arms. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rocket's red glare, the balls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Arms. Colors. Colors turn. Perch.
Please pray with me, if you will. Lord our God, we gather today to give thanks to General Dodroe for his 29 years of service to this great country. And we recognize that none of that service would have been possible without your grace and guidance. Thank you for the blessings you have poured upon General Dodroe and his family, and the blessings poured upon us who have benefited and been inspired by his service. We know you will continue to bless General Dodroe, Michelle, and Angelo with good things, and may they always recognize your goodness with grateful hearts and a desire to share that goodness with others. Bless all of us gathered here today, especially those to whom this legacy of leadership will be entrusted, and bless all of our brothers and sisters serving in harm's way, ensuring the freedoms we enjoy. In your name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. I would like to extend a special welcome to General Dodroe's family today in attendance. Brigadier General Dodroe's spouse, Michelle, General Dodroe's son, Angelo, and his father and mother-in-law, Ray and Shirley Johann. We would also like to welcome our distinguished guests. Today's officiator, Major General Kendall W. Penn, the Adjutant General, Arkansas National Guard, joined today by his wife, Amy. Brigadier General John Payne, Deputy Adjutant General, Arkansas National Guard. Brigadier General Bradley Cox, Director of the Joint Staff, Arkansas National Guard, as well as Sergeant Major Stephen Veazey, Senior Enlisted Leader, Arkansas National Guard. Additionally, Chief Master Sergeant Donald Frederick, Command Chief, Arkansas Air National Guard, joined today by his wife, Kyra. Colonel Paul Hara, Director of Staff, Arkansas Air National Guard, and Chief Warrant Officer 5, Kenneth Brown, Command Chief Warrant Officer, Arkansas National Guard, as well as Colonel Jeremiah Gentry, as the commander of the 188th Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Carl Schneider, Command Chief, 188th Wing, Colonel Patrick Coggin, Commander, 189th Airlift Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Regina Monk, Command Chief, 189th Airlift Wing, and to all colonels, commanders, and chief master sergeants in attendance today, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the presiding officer for today's ceremony, Major General Kendall Penn.
Well, good morning. I want to say, first of all, thanks to everybody for coming out here to help us honor and say farewell to this great Air Force family that's been such a huge part of the organization over the last few years here as the commander of the Air National Guard, and preceding that for about 10 years at the 188th Wing. Now, before I get started, I want to say to the family here, for Leon's family, we do these kinds of things to airmen. We do them for the family. So if you need to take pictures, if you need to get up and move around the room, if you need us to stop and pose, we'll do any of that. You just have to shout it out. And again, this is your ceremony, so we want you to feel comfortable with anything that you need to do to capture the memories. Now, you know, if you talk to any of the guardsmen here and compare their narrative of their career against what their active component counterparts' careers normally are, you'd see that there's probably some peculiarities about being in the Guard. Any of these folks here probably have had multiple AFSCs, multiple MOSs. They've done multiple jobs that are not in line with what an Army officer or an Air Force officer in the same branch and career field would be expected to do. But when I think about that and the peculiarities of the Guard, the first person that comes to mind is Leon Dodroe. I mean, if you look back at his career, I don't think that Private Dodroe, who enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1993, would have been able to project forward 26 years and figure out that he would end up as a general officer in the United States Air Force. I mean, it's the most unique career path I think that I've ever seen. Started off as an enlisted soldier in the Army. First assignment was the Army Ranger Regiment, out of all the places you might end up. That wasn't hard enough for him, so he decided to go to the flight school. And, Army flight school at the time was all based around, the basic airframe that you learned to fly was the UH-1Q. Well, and that's, and so that wasn't hard enough for him indeed. So then he jumps over to become a fixed-wing pilot. And fixed-wing pilots, even today, are an extremely rare breed in the United States Army. Goes on and flies across multiple platforms and theaters and assignments, and then decides to get out of the active Army and join the United States Army Reserve, still as a fixed-wing pilot. Then jumps over the Arizona Army National Guard, and from there jumps to the Air National Guard. And today he's getting ready to retire as a Brigadier General in the Arkansas Army National Guard. That stuff, you can't make that up. And so, and I think it's just kind of important to point out. So I joined the Army about 36 years ago. And it took about 27 of those years for the Army to figure out that maybe I'm not made a general officer. Leon has only been in the Air Guard, has only been in the Air Force for about 11 years, and was already made general officer. So if that doesn't kind of give you some insight into Leon's capability, his intellect, his recognized leadership, I don't think anything else would. 11 years as general officer in the Air Force in a branch that you never served in before is pretty awesome. So let's just give him a round of applause. But you know, Leon, all of those changes across the duration of his career has prepared him for leading the Arkansas Air National Guard, what I think is probably the most unprecedented period of change that the Arkansas Air National Guard has ever faced. At various times throughout, you know, the history of our two wings, you'll see that we've changed airframes, that we've changed, you know, missions, etc. But it's still from one generation to the next, looking back, you would expect to see roughly a very similar kind of organization. But Leon got here just in time for the 188 wing to transition from a fighter wing to an intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance wing. And so, you know, you think about all the changes in MOSs, all the changes in equipment, all the changes in training, all the changes in methods that have to be come up with. It is just a daunting task, and all of the successes that wing pulled off, you know, largely fell right back to Leon in terms of his role as the operations group commander and transitioning a bunch of fighter pilots over to folks who could fly MQ-9 Reapers in a totally different theater on the other side of the world, who could turn intelligence packets that even today are recognized by the combatant commanders for the quality of products they put out. I actually had the United States Southern Command Special Operations Commander tell me that he got more actionable intelligence from the 188 wing than any other formation that was that they pull intelligence products from. And all of that stems right back to the leadership that Leon exercised as his initial role as the operations group commander. And then he comes in here as the Air National Guard commander while we're getting ready to transition to 189th wing from C-130H to the C-130J formal training unit, as well as the overwhelming task of preparing Eddie Air Force Base to pick up the foreign military sales mission for F-35s, as well as host the Singaporean Air Force. And so all of those changes that are taking place are have been Leon's responsibility, and he's just performed them flawlessly. So Leon, from my foxhole, I just want to say thank you for everything that you've done to help set this organization up for success as we get ready to transition into the next phase of the organization's lifespan. It's truly awesome. It's truly amazing everything that they've done here. But you know, we've now reached that point in time where, you know, King Solomon in Ecclesiastes basically said, you know, there's a time under the sun for everything, and you know, change is involved in just about everything we do. And so it's now time in both Leon and Michelle's career here with us to turn the page of the book, move on to a new chapter. And Leon, I just want to tell you up front, I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss your counsel. I'm going to miss your insights. I'm going to miss your leadership. And most of all, I'm going to miss your friendship. I just think that what you've added to this organization is truly, truly remarkable. And before I get too much further, you know, Michelle, we always talk about military service in terms of service and sacrifice. Well, I'm going to be quite honest with you. You know, us in uniform, we get the service part. It's the family that always gets the sacrifice. And so, you know, I want to say thank you to you and Angelo both for standing behind Leon, always being there, whether it's during deployments, whether it's being long duration TDYs, whether it's being him consumed with the job and having to spend late nights, etc., drill weekends, what have you. And there's never been a doubt in his mind, I know, that he could look back and see there cheering him on and being supported. And so thank you for everything that you've done to make Leon such a success and such a benefit to this organization. So folks, you know, there's not an easy way to say goodbye. Leon, this here is family, and so we hope that you will always feel comfortable coming back to visit. You're always welcome, and we hope that you will stay in touch. Thank you very much.
Thank you, General Penn. General Dodroe, please stand and join General Penn center stage for the presentation of the Arkansas Distinguished Service Award. Honored guests, we will soon present General Dodroe with a state award recognizing his exemplary service. It is customary in the military that when attention to orders is announced, all military personnel will rise to attention. Civilian guests are encouraged to stand if they are able. Attention to orders. Brigadier General Leon J. Dodroe distinguished himself by exceptionally meritorious conduct, the performance of outstanding service to the state of Arkansas and nation as Assistant Adjutant General and Air Component Commander, Joint Force Headquarters, Arkansas National Guard, from 7 August 2021 to 31 December 2022. In this critical position, General Dodroe created an environment of innovation that empowered airmen at the 189th Airlift Wing to successfully advocate for the Air National Guard C-130 formal training in the J model. Inclusion of this weapon system in the formal training unit will assure the future viability of the 189th Airlift Wing, provide needed total force capacity for the enterprise, and solidify Central Arkansas as an internationally significant C-130 Center of Excellence. Moreover, General Dodroe was instrumental in advancing the Secretary of the Air Force's Total Force Initiative to host a 33rd Fighter Wings Detachment 1 at Fort Smith's 188th Wing. This partnership will provide a pilot training center for Allied multinational F-35 and F-16 aircraft. The addition of Allied partner training in Fort Smith represents a gain for United States national security and the vitality of the Northwest Arkansas military-industrial base. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Brigadier General Dodroe culminate in a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself, the United States Air Force, and the great state of Arkansas. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the reading of the retirement order. Attention to orders. To all who shall see these presents greetings. This is to certify that Brigadier General Leon J. Dodroe, having served faithfully and honorably, is retired from the United States Air Force on the 31st of December of the year 2022. Signed, Director, Air National Guard, Michael A. Lowe, Lieutenant General, and Chief of Staff Charles Q. Brown, General, United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, please be seated. Major General Penn will present Brigadier General Dodroe with a Presidential Certificate of Appreciation that reads, "For service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America, Brigadier General Dodroe, I extend you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to your country. You have helped maintain the national security of a nation during a critical time in history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifices in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for all those who serve and follow in your footsteps, and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future." Signed, Joseph R. Biden, Jr., Commander-in-Chief. Major General Penn will now present Brigadier General Dodroe with the capital citation and a letter from the Arkansas Secretary of State, John Thurston, thanking him for his 29 years of honorable service and dedication to the United States Air Force and the great state of Arkansas. In addition to this citation, and as another token of General Dodroe's service and appreciation, the U.S. flag is to be flown over the Capitol on December 30th, 2022, coincidentally his birthday, and presented at a later date. At this time, we would like to invite Ms. Michelle Dodroe to please join us on stage for the awarding of the Air Force Spouse's Certificate of Appreciation. This citation reads, Certificate of Appreciation for the United States Air Force. In grateful appreciation, presents a certificate of recognition to Michelle Dodroe for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service given on this day, December 3rd, 2022. Signed, Director, Air National Guard, Michael A. Lowe, Lieutenant General, United States Air Force, and Chief of Staff, Charles Q. Brown, General, United States Air Force. Thank you, General Penn. General Dodroe and Michelle, please remain on stage for a moment longer for the awarding of the retirement pin. Thank you, Ms. Dodroe. At this time, we'll announce members of the Arkansas Air National Guard headquarters in each wing to come up to the stage and present their gifts for General Dodroe's hard work and dedication over the years. Colonel Hart and Chief Richards, please come to the stage to present the gift on behalf of the Air National Guard headquarters in geographically separated units.
So both the wings provided a patch for this, so we've got the headquarters patch. We just wanted to recognize that you don't only represent the two wings, but the headquarters attachment of Team HRO, Weather Flight, Facility Support Team, our staff, all the great airmen work out. We really appreciate your time serving us, and hope you'll remember us this way.
Colonel Gentry and Chief Snyder, please come to the stage and present a gift on behalf of the 188th Wing.
Our gift was, got us a little bit by surprise, a little bit faster than we could turn the air mail system and the Raleigh shadow box that we built. So it's on order to be delivered. Don't currently have it with us. But like the flag that's being flown on your birthday, we do have the item ordered and should be ready by the end of the year, hopefully. Thank you, sir. Congratulations. Thanks for letting me serve.
Thank you, gentlemen. Colonel Coggin and Chief Master Sergeant Monk will now present a gift on behalf of the 189th Airlift Wing.
I don't know if we're going to 8, we got ours. Here's the funny part though. I tried not to have ours because I'm the one who forgot it in my office, and my awesome team is the one who just tracked it down when I brought it here. I think really the reason he came to Arkansas is he started off in the Rangers and like, you're way too big to jump out of anything. And then they sent him to helicopters like, you're too big to fly a helicopter. And they were tired of squeezing him into an MC-12 or an RC-12 for so many years. And he finally got to an MQ-9 where the cockpit was big enough for him to fit. And then he came to Arkansas where both aircraft were large enough you can fit. And that being said, although we didn't get you much on the C-130 as much as we'd like to in your short time up here in the state, we did want to present the tail flash from the 189th with an awesome stand so that you can remember everything in the 189th. From my perspective, sir, just thank you so much for the time we've got to spend together and your guidance and your support for me, my career, and my entire family's careers. It really means a lot to us. And we're going to miss it.
Thank you, leaders. Before we invite General Dodroe to speak, He would like to take this opportunity to offer some gifts for his family as an expression of his gratitude. First, a bouquet of flowers for his wife, Michelle, for her selfless support and love, and a gift for his son, Angelo, for his patient support and love throughout all the moves and assignments. And finally, a bouquet for his mother-in-law, Shirley, and a gift for his father-in-law, Ray, for always being there to support their family. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to present to you Brigadier General Leon J. Dodroe, retired.
Can everybody hear me? All right, sounds good. Not used to talking to Mike, usually like to broadcast, but say hi to Mike. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to our Adjutant General, Major General Penn. Truly appreciate it. Thanks for deferring your honors. It meant the world to me. I appreciate that. I appreciate everything you do. I appreciate our friendship, your leadership, everything that you've done for the Army, as well as especially the Air National Guard. You're a true leader, you're truly inspirational, empowering subordinates, and it resonates through your Corps. So I appreciate that. Thanks, sir. General Payne, truly appreciate you and fellow Army aviator, General Cox, Command Sergeant Major, Chief. It just means the world, everything that we've been through. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for the support of our airmen. Thank you for your leadership. It truly resonates, and I think it's known. I mean, you are a silent professional, as I'd say, not good on interviews, because you're too humble, but it's one of those things of which your airmen feel your passion and feel your dedication to duty, and there will be. Appreciate it. Tyra, thank you so much for coming today. Truly, truly appreciate it. Wes, thanks for being here, brother. Paul, you and the team up here, what I would say is my very first command in the Army. I had a different individual, actually, as a warrant officer. Good guy, but you know, we had a whole bunch of pilots running around all over the continent and South America, and as a result, it ended up being chaos. And every time I landed for my airline job, I'd open my phone and just kind of, because I always knew I was going to get a butt chewing by my boss. But thank you for everything that you do, holding down the fort on a daily basis, and truly making this my best DSG command I've ever had. So I could always rest assured that, you know, I was going to have limited poop phone calls in the middle of the night, and that you had me covered with you and your team. So thank you. Chief, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And you always have to have good legal advice, so that's awesome. So, Pat, Jer, Chiefs, what can I say? I mean, it's one of those things that I wanted to ensure things were in place, things are in place. I rest easy knowing, you know, that the leadership and the Air National Guard is sound. You know, my successor is going to do a great job, but it's because he has you two leaders. It is one of the easiest commands I ever had was operational period. It was because of you two gentlemen. And it was like, I can't say enough thanks for everything that you and the team have done. I mean, and then it's just been a blessing to me, to my family, that we've managed to flow up. And then as a result, like I say, it's just been goodness for me. So, sir, I mean, you got a dream team here. And the future looks very, very bright for the Arkansas Air National Guard in both lanes. So I rest easy knowing that. I will stay in contact. And, but anyhow, thank you. You know, I mean, this whole morning is really about thanks. You know, I'm so grateful and thankful for all the men and women that I've got the opportunity to serve with. And it's just truly been, like I say, a blessing to me. It's like, people ask me what my career is, and you know, a lot of times I'll have a young airman come up and like, sir, you know, how's your career? And I go, well, I think it's kind of like the game of Plinko, you know, the marble drops from the top, and, but it's like, that's not normally how it works, you know, and then I describe a normal career path. But it's been awesome, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you, Amy. I really appreciate your support for the boss. It's great, and I appreciate that. So, like I say, and like the boss has said, 3 branches now. I was hoping to go into the Navy, but it doesn't look like it's going to work out for me. But we're out in the lower half would be nice, but I don't think that's going to happen. But 6 commands. I'm looking forward to my 7th, but she doesn't know it yet. I just want to say thank you, Michelle. Thank you for everything that you've done, all the support that you afforded me. I know today you were saying, or yesterday, that you felt that you hadn't done that much, but you have. You know, it hasn't been just this command. You know, it's been the 5 preceding that. You know, me leaving you to go to Iraq right when after Angela was born. You know, after we thought we were out of that, being gone for a year. And, you know, it was easy for me over there doing the job, but you know, it was hard for you. Now she's a vice president of an engineering firm. And so when I talked about my 7th assumption of command, what I was saying, baby, was I'm going to take over household 6. So you're just going to have to give me a good task condition and standards, so I know what my objectives are, so I can accomplish that. But thank you, I love you dearly, you mean the world to me. Angelo, my boy, like I gave you the Ferris Bueller quote earlier, which is, it's not what we're are going to do, it's what we aren't going to do. And so we're going to have fun. And Mom's going to be a little bit jealous because, like I say, you know, when we have time off, when she's busy doing her vice president stuff, we are going to show up at the airport and we are literally either going to be riding in the future with Pat or Jer on on United or Delta. And when we show up and the flight's full to Rome, we'll go to Australia. So that's going to be our future and we're going to have fun. Corbin, thank you so much for being here today. Angela's best friend, Corbin. I truly appreciate all your support and everything that you do to keep Angelo in track. I need to work on the haircut portion with him, but I appreciate that. Dude, you're good. Mom and Dad, thank you so much. With that, I was going to read you, there's a couple different quotes and passages, but I just asked you to go read it yourself. It's because they're worth the read, and I can't do them justice. But you know, first is of course Theodore Roosevelt, commonly known as Man in the Arena, but it's called Citizen of the Republic. And when I was in school, I really truly admired history, and I felt that resonated with me. Which, you know, is the doer of the deeds, the one that counts, the one that's, you know, tried multiple times and failed, but then he also knows the sweet taste of success as well. So, and that's why I love the military, because that's what we're about. Our soldiers and airmen going after it, going above and beyond, and the others, of course, patent. You know, don't, you know, tell a person, you know, what to do. You know, I tell them what to do, but don't tell them how to do it, and let their ingenuity and what they bring forward, you know, just surprise you. And what I would say is with the 188th, 189th, that I've always been amazed by that, and similar to what my Army experience was as well. You know, you just ask it to be done, you know, give the task condition standards, and they just amaze you. So empowerment. And you know, the other, of course, is what I truly like is when was it MacArthur or Duty, Honor, Country. When you read that, his farewell speech to West Point, it truly resonates. I was reading it again last night, and Michelle, I can keep going back to that. I go, because it means a lot, and it just says so much, and it still is value, and as well as it explains everything about the sacrifice of the soldier, and then what we do as a nation, and it kind of transgresses all time. So with that, I'd just like to say thank you once again. Thank you for allowing me to serve with you. Thank you for welcoming me into the Arkansas Air National Guard. I truly appreciate it. I've appreciated my 29 years of service, and I couldn't imagine of doing anything else. So thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, during this holiday season, we are reminded to be good wingmen and continue to look out for each other. Each of you played a critical role in continuing General Dodroe's legacy and the legacy of the Arkansas National Guard. Stand by for the benediction by Chaplain Garrison, singing of the Air Force song, and the departure of the official party.
Let us pray. Loving God, again, we give you thanks and praise for this day and for the blessings you have given us. We thank you for this opportunity to come together and to celebrate General Dodroe's life and career. We ask you to bless us with safe travel as we leave. We ask all this in your name. Amen.